Welcome to Zone 72, a radio program for youth and by youth, featuring stories that talk about access of youth-friendly services, sex education, building the emotional, physical and intellectual health of youth, and advocating for government policies to strengthen youth capacity. On iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
Hello, good evening, and welcome yet to another episode of Zone 72 Youth Program. And my name is Winnie Eric, your host for the program. Zone 72 Youth Program focuses on the rights and choices for all adolescents and youth, and the program as well emphasizes on the three-pillared global strategy for adolescents and youth, putting young people at the center of sustainable developments. This program is brought to you in collaboration with the Canadian Association of Midwives and UNFPA. Zone 72 Youth Program airs every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. In today's edition of the program, we shall be focusing on the commemoration of the International Day of the African Child. But before proceeding with our discussions, let's have a brief background on International Day of the African Child. The African Committee recognizes the importance of the Day of the African Child as an advocacy tool for enhancing the visibility of the Charter as well as promoting children's rights and welfare issues. The day is celebrated every year on June 16th. The celebrations are based on themes identified and agreed upon by the committee after consultations with children organized by partner organizations. Day of the African Child was instituted in 1991 by the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the then OAU, instituted in memory of the 16th June 1976 student uprising in Soweto, South Africa. Since then, the OAU and its successor, the AU, have used the Day of the African Child to remember these children, to celebrate children in Africa, as well as to inspire a sober reflection and action towards addressing the overabundance of challenges that children in Africa face on a daily basis. The theme for the Day of the African Child, year 2022, is eliminating harmful practices affecting children, progress on policy and practice since 2013. This theme was selected by the African Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, established under Articles 32 and 33 of the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child. So what is the importance of commemorating this day in South Sudan, and what are the harmful practices affecting children in the country? For a better discussion on today's topic, I am now joined by Garang Deng Akol, Associate Program Manager for Junub Open Space Innovation Hub, and Asha Juan Simon, Project Officer for Girl Guide Association of South Sudan. You are most welcome to Zone 72 Youth Program on iRadio.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, to begin our discussion with what is the Day of the African Child all about, I can start with any of you. Yes, Asha, tell us.
Thank you for the opportunity. The Day of Africa Child is to bring partner organization together to look at the progress of the Africa child, and it's also for children to come together and raise up their voices on issues that have not been tackled for the whole year. And in this day, we actually celebrate and the achievement and things that we need to look forward in the next year.
Okay. Yeah, Garang, do you have something to add on that?
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. The African Child Day means bringing the voices of the children on the table where the policies matters and where the stakeholders and the government will look into them and provide solution whereby they can live in harmony and achieve their dream without anything hindering them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Now, why do we commemorate the Day of the African Child every year? What is the importance? Yes, Garan.
Okay. The important is for us to look at what has not been achieved and how far we are going with the charter, how far as all the themes that have been put on table have been addressed or not. It is a day to hold ourselves accountable as stakeholders and partners, working for the children and their welfare, especially in South Sudan, because children face a lot of issues compared to other places. They are subjected to so many cultural practices that they don't deserve, that interrupt their learning, their health, and their mental growth. And that's why it means a lot for us to be commemorated, so that we reflect back on our achievement and what has not been achieved, for us to move forward and track our progress.
Okay. Yes.
In addition to what Garang have just said, it's also a time whereby kids, our children, will raise up their voices and start talking on issues that concern them, and the partners will listen to their to what they're thinking. Then with this, where the implementations comes up.
Okay. Now, what is the importance of commemorating this day, more especially here in South Sudan? Yes, Asha, let me start this with you. What is the importance to you?
The importance of celebrating this day is to make sure that our government is accountable for the things that have not been for the rights of the children to be in place, and it's also a time that.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Garan.
Yeah. For me, celebrating this day in South Sudan mean a day to look at our development with the policy that regarding the children's spaces and their rights being protected by law, and we have seen a number of things happening for the last few months. We have seen what happened in Awil, and we have seen what has also happened in so many other places, in Ruweng, and especially here in Juba. And we have seen that with the power of the youth, with the power of young people in South Sudan who are passionate and who are so much touched by what is happening to the children. A lot of things that are being subjected to violence, being violated against their will, which has seen, like, with the support of the partners, international community and organization, and our government as well. We have seen few cases being persecuted, which means that this is a day to reflect on what is missing. Why are these things happening to children, and what should be done to put in place tools and measures to carve out such practices in our community, and to educate ourselves and to listen to the children and what they have to say about their future and how they want to live their life, not what we think we can do for them, but what they need from us as communities, as government. I think that's what it means to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Garang, for that clarification. Now, the theme of this year, 2022, focused on eliminating harmful practices affecting children. And from your explanation, there are also harmful practices affecting our kids. So what are those harmful practices affecting children in the country?
To begin with, some of the practices, there are many of them, but some of the practices, the most prominent one, are being harmful practices such as forced marriage, being moved out of school, out of your will, and married off because of economic or cultural issues from the parent. And also we have seen, also due to economic crisis, some children, they are being forced against their will to drop out of school and to go and support their parent in looking after their cows and to looking after the animal, or go to their farm, because the community see more value in in cattle, moving children from out of the school to where there are no school. We see too much attachment by the communities to their properties, not knowing that the kids also have value and they have the rights not to be subjected or to be moved against their will. We have also seen some harmful practices being done on the children. For example, there are some communities whereby children are initiated, like having a scare mark on their forehead. These are done. Even some of the children who are in the school, they are brought back by their parents because they think that they have to be initiated into manhood to be adults against their will, and they did not choose that.
Yeah.
Or some of them are not aware about their right, that this is harmful and this should not happen in the 21st century. We have also seen, like I said earlier, forced marriage. It is also happening not only with female, but it's also with male child. They are also being forced against their will. Like if somebody is born and you have your old parent, your parents are elderly, or they have no power, or you don't have your sisters that are born with you. As we know, most of the domestic work in South Sudan is done by women. So you will be forced against your will, whether you're schooling or you are busy doing your work at your business place. You will be forced to get married because you have to bring a helper to help your parent and yourself to cook at home.
Against your will.
Against your will.
All right.
So these are things that I see that are harmful practices.
Okay, before I come to you, Asa, there is something you raised which is very important about the mark they put on faces of children against their will.
Yeah.
Is that mark having impact, like in the life of kids, negative impact?
Yes, because psychologically it is painful, and you are made to be brave, like you are a man, be brave, and you do not have to cry, though it is painful, and you begin to live with life, like you have that psychological torture, being tortured psychologically, because it is made with no medical or any health personnel attendant. So it has two things: psychologically and also health-wise. It can be dangerous because they are using one tools, maybe a knife or a razor blade, and it will be used on a number of people, that same thing, without being sterilized or without being it clean that much to sterilize it. So it can spread diseases from one person to another because there's blood involved. So due diligence is not taken there, and I see that this is also a problem. Someone can get the disease that way, and they can also live with the trauma and the associated psychological effect in the long run, because it is done against your will.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Garang. Yes, Asha, what can you add on what Garang said?
Our harmful cultural that is really affecting our girls or children in South Sudan is the fact that they don't have opportunity to express their feelings. Like, they cannot say what they think. They're always being oppressed down with the elders. They don't have right, according to the culture, they don't have right to raise their voices or to say what they think, what they feel is okay with them, which leads to a lot of harmful effects that Garang have mentioned, such as early marriages. Like, if a girl just received her first menstruation, some cultures say she's ready for marriage, of which she's not ready for marriage. And also, like, in some cultures, girl child is mostly affected with that. She's not allowed to go to school sometime. And once she gets her menstruation, then she's definitely being forced to go and get married to someone that she doesn't deserve to be with. And those are negative effects that affect the girl child in terms of education, in terms of health, and sometimes, like, if a girl gets her menstruation, some cultures have myths on it, like you shouldn't move, you shouldn't cook because you are considered to be impure, like you're dirty. So some cultures also contributed to that, and in most cases the cultural part of, like, a girl is supposed to be at home and doing all the housework, and which leads to less focus on education, and that's definitely affecting the girl child in terms of education.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. Now, what can you say in regards to genital mutilation, female genital mutilation? Is it happening in the communities or it's not?
Currently, it's happening, but people are working hard on how to reduce it, and I'm sure there is positive results from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how does it affect the life of a girl? Like when you're female, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Or if you are circumcised, how does it affect you? How do you feel as a lady?
In most cases, you feel sexually not attract, like not sensitive, which is giving you like it's taking rights of you being sexually active, and of which maybe it will affect your marital life in the future.
Okay.
And also like when if people say like if that happened to you, you don't have control over your urine, it just goes anyhow, which is very bad.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Asha, for that one. Now, what does the law of the country say about child right? Garang, tell us something.
Yeah, the laws of South Sudan are very clear, and the Child Act, give the government right to protect the children against any harmful practices and protect them and provide services to them for them to grow and to achieve their dream and be useful in their life and be better citizen. So also according to international laws, children right, which some of it that people are working on it. For example, the Maputo Protocol is very clear, and this is what people are working on now for the government to enact, to put it into practice, to adopt it as a country, because it will provide a very comprehensive working model and also accountability and tools that can be used to help in protecting children and their rights in the country. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that one. Now, how can we ensure that our children are safe and protected for the future of this country? Yes.
Okay. For us to ensure that children are protected and to achieve their dream and goals in life, I see that as the youth of this country, whom the future of the country is also in our hand, like to determine what it will look like in future. We should be at the front run, like to create awareness and to take it upon ourselves from our houses, from our sisters, younger sisters, our younger brothers, cousins and nieces, for us to protect them. By protecting them, it means that we have to stand up against these harmful cultural practices. Going down to the villages, talk to our uncles, talk to teachers, religious leaders, and all diverse groups that are around, to tell them that children have right to realize their full potential by not being subjected to these harmful cultural practices like forced marriage for both boys and girls, and also against these harmful cultural initiation that disrupt their lives and also leave them with trauma or even infect them with diseases. So these are things that we need to raise awareness and educate people more about them, and also to work with the children to understand them. What are they feeling? Where is their pain? And try to create a solution together with the input, to create a solution whereby they see themselves in what they envision and how their future should look like.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Asha.
All right. In addition to what Garang has said, the laws of South Sudan have mentioned it very well. The right to education, right to health, and right to basic needs. And this one is not only, we cannot count it only on government, but as individuals at individual level, you can also do that. It's kind of a family has a role to play by sending their kids to school. Then the government have a role to play to make sure that the school's infrastructures are put into place, teachers are there, the place is safe for a child to go and learn. And it's also in terms of infrastructures, we need also to include the rights of children living with disability or special need. This is very important because we cannot take them out. Because for us to ensure the future of the children in our country, we need to make sure that we empower them, we educate them. And that is by giving them the safety environment. If the environment is safe for child, then definitely the child will learn, both at home and at school. Because, you know, in some cases, you find out that the kid is facing a lot of things at home. So once he goes to school, he also faces the same issues. Like there is conflict with the teachers because of what is happening. The environment at home is not that safety. Then when he goes to school, like he's supposed to be to be counseled, to be in a good place, like to bring her back, because we are not living in the same situations at some time. We all have different situations at home. So the safety of a child at home and at school, it's very important, and that is what the government needs to put in place. The security has to be in place, and then their education needs to be considered. Their health, that leads to the hospital infrastructures needs to be put in place for a child safety, and also as individuals and organizations, they also need to make sure that they empower the children, giving them the basic knowledge they need, because we cannot only focus on education as the key. The child also needs to learn some other things.
Okay.
Of which it can boost her confidence in some other areas.
All right. Yeah. Okay, thank you for that one. And what is now your advice to the citizens and the government of South Sudan in regards to harmful practices affecting children in the country? Yes, Garang.
Yeah, my advice would be to all our parents outside there and all the communities that are around, in the churches, in schools, in so many diverse places, that children should be protected at all costs by us as parents, by us as community members, and stakeholders in policies. Like the parents should educate themselves more to have a better understanding on how best they can interact and also work with their children, because the world is moving, is dynamic, and we cannot understand how things move. Things are changing every day, and we need to be at the same pace with all this that are happening. So in South Sudan, and both urban and rural communities need to be aware of the children's right. That's one, and they also need to be in place to ensure that justice is achieved, to be accountable. All people who are violating the children rights and their right to living included, because there are people who have gone extreme than that. We have seen a case in a will whereby a young girl was violated and also ended up being killed in the process, of which we have seen justice being delivered, and many more other cases in the country. So I would want all South Sudanese to keep the same momentum, coming up together and condemn, and also advocate strongly for prosecution of violators of children's rights anywhere, at any time, across South Sudan.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that, Garang. Dear listener, you are still listening to Zone 72 Youth Program on iRadio Your Eye on South Sudan. And that was Garang Deng Akol, Associate Program Manager for Junub Open Space Innovation Hub, and Asa Juan Simon, Project Officer for Girl Guide Association of South Sudan, speaking. Our studio lines are now open. You can call on 0922 986 986 or 0911 986 986, or you can send a message to 0913 986 986 to share your opinion. We are discussing in commemoration of International Day of the African Child. In the context of South Sudan, children go through certain harmful practices that affect their lives. So as a listener, what we would like to know from you is that what are those harmful practices happening in our communities in the country, and how can we ensure that our children live in peace peace and harmony. And also feel free to ask questions of clarification about today's topic, and my experts in the studio will respond to you instantly. iRadio. Hello, iRadio. iRadio. 0922-986-986 or 0911-986-986. So you can send text to 0913-986-986. لكل مستمعين تايزاي راديو دي حسد فرصتك يا سانتا بقدر شارك في برنامج تا زون 72 يوث بروجرام، وفي مناسبة الليلة أن بذكر يوم العالمي بتاع جنا أفريقي، يعني في أفريقيا تبلغوا ممارسات الغلط الجي حاصل إيال كتير وإنه تسير الكعب في حياة إيال وسباب. زي مستمعين شارك معنا ياتو ممارسات الغلط إتبعرف بحاصل إيال في مجتمعات في جنوب السودان، وأننا بعمل سنو عشان إيال بتاعنا بيكون مع سلام في مجتمع. لو كمان تايندو سؤال ممكن فوق الموضوع بتاعنا تقليلا إتبقدر شارك توالي. iRadio 0922-986-986 أو 0911-986-986 أو تبراسلوا رسالة في 0913-986-986 أسنتا بقدر شارك مع مشارك بتاعك. Yes, our discussion is all about the commemoration of International Day of the African Child. And we are looking at exactly the harmful practices that affect our children within the country. So as a listener, share with us what are those harmful practices affecting our children, and how can we ensure that our children live in peace and harmony. iRadio.
Hello?
Yes, please. Your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Wow.
Your name?
My name is Shor.
Welcome, Shor. We lost you there, Chor. If it's network issue, you can call us back on our same studio line. iRadio 0922-986-986 or 0911-986-986. iRadio.
Hello?
Yes, please. Your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Now, Miss.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening to you. Your name and where are you calling from?
You're speaking to Moses from Monoki.
Welcome, Moses.
Yeah, I really appreciate the program.
Thank you.
I really appreciate the program. That it touches me because people, when we look at the children, it is really they are in miserable life, especially their lifestyle. I really appreciate Asha for her good words about the future of the children of South Sudan, because actually the children are suffering at this. Now again, if you go to schools, again you find them, teachers are also torturing them the same kind. It is painful. So it means you are not balancing children's rights, both the parents and the teachers. So for me, the only thing is we need also to one day let them also go to some of the other schools and give guidelines on how to handle children, because some of the other schools in Juba, or in South Sudan generally, they are not putting the children well.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Moses, for your positive feedback. You can also call us back on our same studio line on 0922-986-986 or 911-986-986, or you can send text message to 0913-986-986 to share your opinion like just Moses did, or to ask question of clarification. I'm having experts who will respond to you immediately. iRadio.
Hello?
Yes, iRadio.
Ay, marhaba.
Tamam, marhaba. Kismak minu jara minuin.
Sejong ka achol na mintongkin.
Marhab tuwali achol.
Ay, anas ma barlam ikres lagi na namak ma haji jato kan bada kes. Yang kan dara atu teles.
Okay. Achol,
Ay.
ana indu swala ita.
Hmm.
Naam, anna bi zekir yom bita iyal asan kida anna deraruf min ita yani iyatu mumarisat al-galad bi hasil ketir fi mujtamaat bitana fi junub Sudan le iyal wa indu tasir al-qab fogo umon.
An iyal al-tala bara fi share wala al-jawabet.
Iyal kulu yani mumarisat al-gi hasil galad fi gisim bita umon.
Ay, ana bono bila iyal tanna. An gala dali man gamam sa.
La.
عن حاجات الكالتشر تينا بونس قال نحن بمارس في أداء التقاليد تينا وما صح عشان كان بعملوا لجينا.
Naam, kan di dalam terbiya ibe ya lo tu bori lo mon terbiya jana kan gamo lo gala bori gala bito fera so mengin baade bo. Lagan pe o ma tetir gal jana lo mo lo gala yani ma bidugo. Dugo te mana to jana bibun aktar mena jaga lo gamo lo. Lagan kan la anga no jana kan gamo raja batan gala debo si gala tatore. Ata no bar gala jere bata lo ma ba mon tan.
Okay.
Dekan lana.
All right. Sukran Khalis Achol ma musharak bitak lakini ana bonus yani an mumarisat al-galat itabiligobe hasil iyal fi mujtamat bitana yani dia tunon tanin minken ze rep ze sunu jatal ge hasil kida ana jarf minita wakaman itabagder wali yani kef iyal bagder minken hafisuma tiriga al-khois asanumon bikun ma salam fi mujtama. I radio. Hello, I radio.
Hello, I.
Yes, it's Magmunu Taraminwen.
Nasuma, I do wala mayal mayal.
Yes, Magmunu.
Ana is na
Philip, Jurubait min radio bitak.
Okay.
Na marhab.
Ay, right. Nasuma alam tayal. Yal tabani au tum nan munaza male baado yal tabani ni au. Aga teka da juba de kullu yal. Aga kai kamaji ko biligo yal tabani na ni nisare ani basro bumerisa.
Nam.
Hello?
Anna basuma Philip.
Ay pa aramaro gum betado yal de o biteriga do taban betabe awata o mail. Kan lo monazama de baga de risado tal. Kadi isado sala ya le madrasa.
Nam.
Kita ni umad ma ya buat ma real tabani. Shukran leda.
Okay. Sukran Khalis Philip ma Musharak Bitak. Philip is saying we are having plenty of children in the streets and others don't have parents. How can such kids be helped?
Yeah, to go back to his question, is one of the things, the root cause that we should look at, and when you look at what caused the children to go to the street, some of them you will find that our cultural practices are not favoring, and they are the one that make children to go out of home to the street. Part of it is this polygamy, marrying so many wives, and you don't have a proper job, and you don't have time even to sit down with your children and listen to their problem and solve their problem. You would find that even some of these children, they are having responsible parents, actually. And we have worked with a number of time with children, and you would find that some of these children, they have parents who are working, but the parents themselves, they see, like especially male, the fathers. I'm not blaming them, but this is what I have found with the children that I've interacted with in most of the program that we used to have. You would find that children are left to their mothers to be the one to discipline them, to help them with their schoolwork, to help them with all the needs. Even if a child come to the father and ask that I need this, I need to go and buy exercise books, or you need to go and buy clothes, he or she will be chased away. You go to your mother. You see, some of this problem, they are part. Our culture is part of this problem that is creating so many street children, and how they can be helped is that sometimes we make a mistake. Yes, like we go on the street and collect all of them and come and put them. Even some of them, they need support first. They need to be psychologically mentored, such that they will be stabilized, because some of them have gone extreme, taking drug, and they are addicted and fighting on the street. They feel comfortable being wild on the street like that. So when you work with them, you take them and mentor them first. When you mentor them, then you would even start. Who want to go and play football, for example? Who would want to go and do maybe go to school to go back to school and
study.
Study, and then also you look at different dream and different talent that they have before taking just them like bulky like that to school. When they were even in school and they left home, or some of them have never gone to school and they have grown up to be adolescent. They are in adolescent age. So some of these children can only be taken to technical school, of which there is a program running like every 3 months. Children are absorbed at Juba Technical School and also at the Multipurpose Training Center. And this has been going on. And our approach with the children has been offering them a therapy. Like we sit down with them, we listen to their problem, we let them express it in form of arts. And then we advise the parent how they can go about with such children that are falling up with where the parent are or their relatives, so that they can be helped. And this is what most of the partners, especially UNICEF and other UN agencies, have been doing through other organizations like ourselves and a number of other platforms that are available in the country, and especially in Juba.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Garang, yes, Asha, do you have something you'd like to add? Maybe you can say in Arabic.
طبعا في حاجات كتير جا حاصل في بلدنا جنوب السودان وبصفة الخاصة يا جماعة بلد تعبان ناس ما عندهم قروش تانيين طبعا كان هنا طبعا أنا شغالة مع ساوث سودان جال جايد أسوسيشن وفي أسوسيشن هناك كتير كنا بيتدخل مع عيال صغار من عمر 7 لقدام وهنا كنا لقوا صعوبات كتير في عيال تانيين جاني مع أنتيز في عيال تانيين جاني مع أنكلز of which هناك حياة ما شنو زي ما هم دايرين هم دايروا في مدرسة انت بروح في مدرسة بجيان فطور ما في قرش فطور ذاته ما في يونيفورم نشيا في جسم ما في تبي لو جينا دي قاعد وكده قال خلاص كده انا شنو رفتش قروش وفي زمن لو جيت في سيكو برفتش قروش ده دي او زمن ابو شنو راسو بيبدا كرابو because انت كان ما دارس وجينا تاكي كويس وكان تلا بارو بالي ومن شنو من ناس البارة هناك وناس البارة هناك انت ما بتراسو من قال مون بودي انفورميشن ابسونو الكويس وده هو صعب دي حاجات بيكوتو شنو جينا ما بيجينو في بيت يال بيتالا بارا صفة أولاد من قاينو sometimes example من ناس تمون تابيت في أبوهات ما مسؤولين وفي أمهات كمان شنو ما مسؤولين وإذا كان ما مسؤول بمعنى جينا تكي شنو ما باينو example كويس فوقيت عشان قال شنو دير فولو ما في زول جي من تو فوق بيت ده بيكوتو شنو بيتالا بارا من بيت because حاجات هلو دير وما بيلقو so كان تالا بارا في سيكو بيكلم قال شنو أو بيرافيتش حاجة بشنو هلو ما قدر لقو فوق بيت وده بيرجعنا ورا في برامج أنا كان أعمل بجنوب open space هنا كان نجيبوا teachers نجيبوا parents يلا زمان نجيبوا teachers و parents يلا students كله أنا اللي جو teachers be blame parents be blame teachers and students be blame both parents and teachers يعني أنت قانو يلا بيقت شنو طلعوا في النص ما في اتجاه شنو بسيف لومن بيت ما سيف مدرسة ما سيف جينا بيريان بيطلع من بيت بتمرن ما عنده كراس شنو أصل كراس من أبوته ما قدر وديله وبيرا في مدرسة teacher بيدوقوا ليه أنت ما عنده كراس او هناك في بيت ما ودي له كراس طبعا لقينا ده اكل في نص اكل بعمل شنو او باكل في الشارع او بيكلم في بيته بيروح في مدرسه وما بوصل في مدرسه عشان كان وصل في مدرسه في ده دي او صوبات العيال بيلقوا فوق ده وسامتايم ده ما من عيال لهم ما دير يكون في حياه زي ده لكن في صوبات ما قدروا يحلوا لهم.
Okay. All right, thank you so much for that. 0922-986-986 or 0911-986-986, or you can send a text message to 0913-986-986. We are commemorating the International Day of the African Child, and what we would like to know from you as a listener is what are the harmful practices happening to children in our communities, and how can we ensure that our children live in peace and harmony. Also, feel free to ask question of clarification about the topic. I'm having experts with me in the studio. That is Garang Deng Akol, Associate Program Manager for Junub Open Space Innovation Hub, and Asha Juan Simon, Project Officer for Girl Guide Association of South Sudan. They are here to respond to you in case you have question. I read you. I read you. I read you.
Hi, Radio.
Yes, please. Your name? Hello? Hello, I read you. 0922-986-986 or 0911-986-986. Or you can send a text to 0913-986-986. Do not forget that you are still listening to Zone 72 Youth Program on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. And this program comes your way every Saturday at 4 p.m. And my name is Winnie Eric, your host for the program. iRadio.
Mark, Luca.
نعم لوكا من وين؟
Luca من واو.
مرحب.
نقول لك شكرا أول مرة يتصل لكم في فيديو هناك.
نعم.
السؤال بتاعي البرنامج بتاعي الطلب إشاري. السؤال بتاعي لو سمعي؟
نعم أنا بسمعتها.
أنا داير نقول لأخوات وأبات البكال العيال يلعب في شاري يشرب مريضة في شاري. أنا داير نقوله كلي يكون مسؤول لعيال لجنب بتاعك عشان تحفظه.
نعم.
طبعا عيال كله مدرسة يمشي شاري يشرب مريضة ما في زول ثاني يجي يعلمه إلا يتبافى الجنب بتاعك وتقول له أمشي مدرسة. ده سؤال نمرة واحد. نمرة اثنين أنا داير نقول للحكومة كلي يدو سبورت لكنائس أي كنيسة كلي حكومة يدو سبورت له. يعني أي نادي أي كنيسة مدرسة سكاير فتاوي هناك كان جنا يمشي يعلموا بإحترام في مدرسة. ده سؤالين لكم. شكرا لكم.
Okay. Shukran Khalis Luka ma musharak bitak de actually ma soal lakin de musharak shukran shadid asanta ashbiak der sherik fi barnamij ta Zone 72 Youth Program. I read you. 0922-986-986 au 09-11-986-986 au tabagder rasul risala fi 09-1-3-986-986 lu ita indu sual mungkin fogo al modu bitana ta'adila marhab tuwali asan video maana fi dakil studio Taizai Radio alibijua bola ita. I radio. Hello, I radio.
Hello.
Yes, please.
My name is John Dakar Nadari Mumba Sherkat.
John Marhab.
برنامج ده كله برنامج كويس لكن غير ناس سيل الرجال يشوفوا الآن في ناس بدقوا رجال ما يدقوا رجال يشجعوا عشان يمشي يسكون برضو زي أعمال الكعبة بيعملوا هاي اسمه فوز ميري يجبروا يعرفوا وهم يروح بليس جنة صغير.
True.
ده حاجات المفروض المجتمع يجنب حاجات زي ده.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, John, for your positive feedback. John is saying children should not be beaten. And exactly, if we so love to them, they will listen to us. But some parents, you find they are really too harsh to their kids, they
Sure.
beat them. Yeah, Garang, you are dealing with kids. Is it happening? Do you receive like such cases sometimes?
Yes, most of the time I will not even talk at workplace,
Mm.
but I will talk of our house. We have children in our house, and you would find that their parent, if children fight or sometime they have gone out and they have done something wrong, they will be scolded,
Mm.
you know, and some of them will be beaten. Like, why did you go and delay at the shop? What were you doing? Why do you have to play on the road? If they have delayed, if they were sent to go and do something, or they have spoiled something. But the best way, as you put it correctly before, is to love your child. If you love the child will even feel like he's secure in the house rather than having free time outside, because actually you really time his or her time for playing, for doing her homework or his homework, for doing other children activities. Together you play with them, with your children, take them out, and then you move around with them, and then you show them the best that they should have, rather than leaving them there to be carefree. So you would find that in the neighborhood, you will find that your children at home, they are well behaved, you train them well, but you'd find that there are children outside there, they have bad influence. They do, and they go and make these children learn other practices, because these children are beaten, and they can just be like, some of them even wonder, like, these children are beaten, and why don't you beat us, uncle? And then I would say, no, that's not the correct way. Yeah, that's not the correct way.
Yeah.
Even if they are beaten, because you are doing well, that's why I'm not beating you. And that's it. And you would find that when we hold kid art therapy, like Asha mentioned earlier, we used to have this kid art therapy that happen in every year that we hold at our space. So we give them time to express themselves in form of arts, in drawing.
Okay.
And then you would find that children want good thing. They draw about churches, about school, going to school, playing ball, balloons, and also moving with their parents, enjoying their food. So these are the things that you would find children need more than being beaten or going to do being bright or those kind of things. Yeah.
All right, interesting. Thank you so much.
Okay.
I personally also, I love when someone talks to me like politely, but if you take in a rough way, definitely it's
You will be rough.
yeah. So children need to be handled in proper way. Yes, Asha.
Okay, from my experience with kids, actually, we have three categories. There are those ones that need to be talked to harsh. That's when they listen. Then there is those ones that when you talk to them harsh, they will start crying.
But don't you think those other kids that tend to be very harsh, they learn it from the parents?
From the parents.
Yeah.
So this is why we get we get things hard, especially when we are training girl guides. That this is the challenge which we face. We have soft kids and we have those ones that did harsh things.
Okay.
So there we look at the way how we can moderate it, at least like to bring them to back to being
their senses.
polite and being okay with some certain things, of which it's kind of not easy, but you can get 50% of them like that harsh life. Like you talk to them harsh, they do it quickly. If you talk to them politely, they will just be looking at you like this, because they're used to a certain voice. So those kids, we put them into a sessions to make them understand that things are not done this way. And after them realizing it, you will see that in a month they will start changing, and that's how we do the change when it's come to that.
Interesting. All right, let's hear from another caller. I read you. Hello, I read you. 0922-986-986 or 0911-986-986, or you can send a text message to 0913-986-986 to share your opinion. I'm going to pick now 2 calls and then we call it a good evening. I read you.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Michael Fijabalemun.
Michael, you're too close to your radio.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
You are Mamalan or...
I'm Winnie Eric.
Okay, Winnie Eric, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, that point is very good, but the problem is here, as we are parents, the problem, when you have a dog at home, and that dog, that home, there is no any food at home, you see that dog is going to the neighbor.
Yes.
It's the same to the kid in the family. When the kids are going to school, the majority now, the majority people, they don't have anything.
Yeah.
They are jobless. Although you are working, the little money you are getting is not enough for treatment and so many things. The kid, when he went to school, there is some rich people, they give their own children some food or some money to go and get food there. You see? Now when your kid is reaching there, you see the kid are eating. But he doesn't have anything, or he is looking.
Yeah.
Now from there, the kid, like when the kid born, he doesn't have anything in his mind. Just only he started digesting. Now from there, he's thinking very far to look for and collect from the dustbin or something and beg. You see? Now we are trying to blame ourselves, but it's a crisis in our country. Everybody is very hurry up to do something for his children, but there is no way. No way. You see, the problem is there, but our responsibility is there. There is no way. The kid can stay at home or can go to school straight when he is very happy. You see, the problem is here. Our government. I'm trying to beg you. Don't blame us, but make the thing to be easy. Everybody is struggling. Now I'm at work now. I'm on duty, but the problem at home I cannot solve it because the money are little. It cannot be enough. Let it stop like that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Michael, for that interesting one. As a parent, you need to always be responsible, just like you said. If maybe you see the kids, because the situation in our country, let me say, the economic situation is affecting all of us. So as a parent, so this is the right time you should plan everything very well for your child, yeah?
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's also very important, like, we know back then to move to school without eating, but we are happy with that. Although we don't eat at school, but the way our parents talked to us, it was okay. But nowadays, you can see a child is going hungry, coming back, we still use abusive words, which is kind of very hard for a child to take. But there is a way how you can make your child to understand the situation at home, hence accepting the situation she's in and works towards changing it. And that is the most important things. When you train your child to know the situation you people are in, and make her or he understand that there is something he can do in the future to change this, then definitely he will accept the fact that I have to go through this and I have to endure it until I will make change to my family. That is it.
All right, interesting. Yes.
Yeah. I would come in here about this economic situation, and we are not the only country or the only society that has issues to do with economic crisis. They are everywhere, even in the USA, in China, in UK, people are suffering. We have vulnerable communities due to economic crisis, but that does not prevent us from trying harder to do the best for our children. Of course, I appreciate John for what he's doing and all that he's doing for his children to be at school and to be people in life. And you will see that people who have suffered a lot, just from the other side, you'd find that these people, they are the one who becomes more successful even than these spoiled children. You get almost everything.
Exactly.
Sometimes you have to experience some little pain for you to be stronger. So, and that does not mean that children should be pushed to extreme, and that one can make them go crazy, like we have said before. And I would agree also with my colleague Asha, that you have to be polite to them. You have to tell them why it is happening like that, why there's no food, and why he or she should work hard at school to make it better for himself or herself and for his or her future children to come.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Now I'm going to pick one call, and then from there we shall hear from our guest. I read you.
Hello,
Yes, please, your name and where are you calling from?
Angelo Mutoka Mashiraka.
Munu?
Angelo.
Marhab to Ali Angelo.
Naam, I do the Kalam Pele. I read you. Jayagati, Madaka Lidena, Mabiol Mandashan, Janama Mayagrakaman, even there, Janap and Gala, Animal Quest. Actually, Yao Marat go Amat, Yao Marat, Hali Yalim, you share. Like Lunda go about with Hali Jana, you'll be sicker. Kalam Zedamal. Ulimanda Kaman, Nakumana, Yaka Masaja, Yaka, Yaka Madaris Katir, Kuma, Kulu Haya, Kuni Madaris Katir, Mom Kumada, like me. What am I going to yell? That guy is Mondagra. Yell in this world, Dana.
No, Marhab.
In this world, can is world Parkalia, Halagagrana, Tabadu, like individual Afri, how much in Taha. Alam Tai, Corona, Taina, Ibadadiza. That is my like to them, couldn't take in Dizolaya. Then that's when it is a bit.
Ita induzo layan min ajide min hepatitis?
I
Okay.
have a good time to let my face.
All right. Shukran Khalis Angelo ma Musharak Bitak. Yeah, thank you so much. Usbu alifat itakan nasa dua sual digo diktor fi. Lakini anna suma sual bitak badin ni teacher bitu itabija ligo kan diktor juabu tabana nama diktor anama bagder juabu la ita asha. Shukran Khalis, and if I didn't pick your call, do not worry. Next time we shall continue with the same program. Now, back to my guest. What is your last remark concerning our topic of today, like your message to the audience regarding the commemoration of the International Day of the African Child? Asha, let me start with you, then I'll come to Garan. Yes, what's your message?
شكرا للفرصة. أنا بقول إنه دي زمن أبو أننا كلنا كparents civil society organization and the government كلنا عينوا لحاجات أبو إيال دير كيف أنا بيساعدهم وكمان كيف أنا بيوديلهم حياة ألومون دير حياة الكويس حياة اللي بيساعدهم والبيشيلهم لقدام كلنا ما كون سبب لدمار تجينا كلنا ما كون سبب لعدم جينا ما بيروح في مدرسة كلنا وديله فرصة ده كدورها في مدرسة وكان يان كلنا كتبات لعلاج بتاعه وكمان كلنا عينه ديتون حاجة موهبة له عنده like the talent she has كلنا encourage كدو عمله because وكان أقدر develop child talent توتو بيجي يكون حاجة تاني مهم في future وكمان بيساعده بلدنا كلنا ما كنت أبانين ما يالتنا نعرفه وصعب كparents عشان انت بيجينا ماجينا تاكو بصعوبات أبانا شنو بيلقوا في زمن تحاسب situation ده ما جيسايدو نهاية حكومة ما جيسايدو شنو ما جيسايدو لكن كلنا جدد كلنا نحاول بكل إمكانيات أبانا عنده عشان كيف أنا بقدر ودي environment كويس لجينا جينا تا جنوب السودان.
Okay, shukran. Thank you so much. Yeah, Garang, what's your message?
Yeah, my message, I would draw it from the cultural perspective. Like in some of our cultures, people will not report such violation, like rape. People have a stigma, so this is not reported sometimes by some parents, mostly in the villages and even in urban areas here, especially even here in Juba. It is a very sensitive topic to some of the communities. They don't report it to the authorities, and for children's right to be violated and go unpunished like that is not good. And I would warn all of us, the civil societies and the communities, to work together with the government and the law enforcement agencies to put this one in place, and like to aware our people why it is important to have justice to be served, rather than running back to our culture and say this is from the cultural perspective, it should not be persecuted. So let us all report all such cases, and you would find that even this forced marriage, when they are reported to the authorities, it creates a lot of problem in some families and in some communities and in their own cultural context. So such should not be tolerated, like not to be reported, be it forced marriage, also be the rape or other violation on the children, they should be persecuted and should be reported to authorities. And all of us should work toward that to achieve and to protect the right of the children at all costs, at any time, anywhere it is happening in South Sudan. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And youth can always send us questions about adolescent health to youthzone72@gmail.com or call 0922 009 497. Like our Facebook page, Youth Zone 72. And the hotlines include for GBV is 623, COVID-19 is 6666, Adolescent Health Immediate is 885. With that, we have come to the end of today's edition of Zone 72 Youth Program, which tackled the commemoration of the International Day of the African Child. And my guests in the studio were Garang Deng Akol, Associate Program Manager for Junub Open Space Innovation Hub, and Asha Juwan Simon, Project Officer for Girl Guide Association of South Sudan. Thank you for participating in the show, and remember to join me again the coming Saturday at 4 p.m. for another edition of the program. My name is Winnie Eric. Until next time, stay safe.